Today we're going to talk about fresh roasted coffee in under 5 minutes and also inspecting our coffee with a UV flashlight. You may not know it, but you can actually fresh roast coffee in about the same time as it takes to wait in line at a cafe to get your drink. You will need a couple things for this. The first thing that we'll need is a really good green coffee. Today we're using Goodlands Organics based in Southern California, about a cup of it. It's also helpful to have a thermometer and a timer, although it's not absolutely required. This time, we'll also be using a UV flashlight and a pair of UV goggles to check the beans beforehand for mold or fermentation, and a high-intensity flashlight to check the roast during its progress. We'll also be using a popcorn popper, a glass that fits inside the popcorn popper to help keep the heat in, a strainer, and something to help keep it up close to the vent. Put your UV glasses on and put your coffee in the dark and illuminate it with the UV flashlight. You can see turquoise-like beans that indicate that they have mold or fermentation products on the side of it that are generally good to take out before you roast them, because sometimes these can give you headaches or a sour taste in the coffee. The Goodland beans are on top, and they have absolutely no turquoise beans whatsoever, unlike the bag of other beans below them from another company, which I won't name. This indicates that they have very modern production processes with very good control over the fermentation process, but of course they charge appropriate for it, being several times the cost of the one below it. Once we've taken out the beans that we want, we get about a cup of these and we put them inside of our popcorn popper. First, we're going to place that glass lid on top of things, so that'll help keep the heat in and make a more uniform roast and also a much faster roast. And then we're going to place on the traditional popcorn popper top and cap. Then we're going to take our strainer and place it underneath the popcorn popper vent. I'm also going to use a coat hanger to position it closer to the vent. Now it's time to start the clock and turn on our machine. When we first turn it on, the beans aren't going to actually do anything but stay still and the fan will come on. But things will happen fast after that. About 2 minutes in, we'll hear our first cracking sensation. And about 2 minutes after that, the process will probably be done. A whole bunch of chaff will be inside of our basket. Use a pair of hot gloves to take the popcorn popper top off, then place it to the side. Also, take off the glass that was covering the beans, but being very careful about where you pick it up and where you place it because it's extremely hot. We're about 4 minutes in and we'll notice that our beans are already sort of at a medium roast for us, with a lot of chaff still kind of parchment still hanging onto it, which we can easily clear off with this following. First, we empty out the coffee into the strainer and we shake it a bunch of times to knock off the chaff and also cool it pretty quickly. So you can kind of like sing Luca Garacha, whatever you want to do. It just takes a little while to do. And then we're going to put it back inside of the popcorn popper for a very short period of time to knock off the stuff that we've kind of collected. And then we just throw the stuff away. It's very quick. So we've got the remnants, most of it, and we just throw it away. At this point, we've got all the coffee is done. All we have to do is pour it into some container that we like to keep it for as long as we want to age it, which is usually about anywhere between, you can actually grind this now and brew it now, or you can wait about 11 hours for the optimals. That's it for this video. Be sure to check out the other video on which UV flashlight works the best for inspecting green coffee. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them below and feel free to subscribe.